How's it going, fam? Welcome back to the What's Up Eddie channel, Divine Therapy Sessions. And of course, I'm the one and only Eddie. So glad to have you guys back. And these are my Divine Therapy Sessions. And today we're going to talk about the law of correspondence. Okay, guys, so if you just are watching this video and you haven't seen the first one, you're going to want to go back and watch the law of mentalism because it is... all these steps, you can watch them in any order because they all correspond with each other. Obviously, the law of correspondence, well, once I teach you, it'll show you that all the laws go together anyways. But you want to watch that video as well. Okay, so the reason why I'm teaching these principles, they're Hermetic principles, right? But these teachings they're thousands of years old, and when you actually implement these things into your life, these principles, it's because it's how it operates, you know? So like, if you implement it, your life will change. It will get better. You'll be able to manifest. You will be able to live a better quality of life. And these principles don't have limits. It's limitless. And it's immutable, which means that, like, there's no limitation on it. You can literally apply it to every portion of your life, and it'll get better in that portion of it, whether that be business, spiritual, personal, emotional, mental, whatever you want to apply it to, it can apply it to that. Obviously, you have to use your imagination and apply I call it the equation, the blueprint, and you'll be able to get what you want. Okay, so the law of correspondence is the saying that usually goes with it is, and I think the way that it's told is, as above, so below as above, so within, so without, so within. And so it's what it's saying in an easy way to say it is that everything corresponds with everything. Everything is everything. And you're like, Eddie, come on, man. What are you saying, buddy? What are you telling me, buddy? All right, guys, so what I'm trying to tell you is this, is that if you realized that this place that you're on right now, planet Earth, the virtual reality that you're having, and whatever avatar you are, right? I'm Eddie Avatar, which that's the character that I'm playing on planet Earth, Eddie SOTELO. So this is my life. And if I have a better understanding of the rules of this game, I will be able to play the game better, right? Absolutely. So let's just say I'm giving you the cheat codes right now. So the way I would like to say this is that it just is how I said it. Like, I'm teaching you the rules of the game right now, and that they've never been taught. They have been. These rules are out there. It's just now you're finding it on this channel right here, right now. So the way that our reality works is that there's three planes of existence. There is the mental plane, there is the physical, which is the body, and then there's the spiritual plane. So there's three planes. And the law of correspondence says that each plane interacts with each other. So you and I, well, I'm a little different because I'm not different. We're all the same, right? But because I have been enhancing my spiritual practices and doing the trauma work, I'm able to start identifying the spiritual aspects, the spiritual plane, right? And you can do that too. That's why they have, like, the Vedics, yogis, Buddha. These people are in higher planes of existence, right? Because they've amplified these principles, right? And they've opened themselves up to those realities. And you say, well, why would you want to do that? And you know, to me, you guys, as the avatar Eddie, I don't want to be a Gandhi or Buddha. And because I want some, you know, I think Russell Brand said it perfectly. He's like, you know, I want a level of spiritualism, to be in a level of spiritual, but I want a little grit to it. And I thought that was a perfect way to say that, because what it taught me was, like, yeah, like, not taught me, but it's how I like living my life, right? Like, I you only get a portion of me right here, right? But like, you guys, I'm goofy. I could be pessimistic as well as optimistic. I'm a flirt. I'm charismatic. I isolate. I do it all, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is that I want to be all of it, right? I want to experience all of it. And I think that's what we're supposed to do while we're here, because if I always say it's learning, so it's tests, how depending on how you did on the tests, then it's learning or relearning, and then teaching. I believe it's a process, because you start to find out most people who lived a certain life, they end up becoming something different. I know that resonates with me because that's my story. I was okay. So let's just talk about me, because obviously it's my channel, right? So check it out. I was an alcoholic. I'm still an alcoholic, but I was in the midst of alcoholism, and it was plaguing me, killing me, and it tore me away from everyone I loved. And because of what I was doing, everyone didn't want to be around me as well, right? And I didn't necessarily have to hurt them, because I didn't hurt a lot of them. But they were, because of the fear and the anguish, that is the hurt that they felt, right? Which it is still hurt at the end of the day. I didn't necessarily have to be like a liar or cheater or anything like that, but you still have effects on people, right? Which is the law of correspondence at the end of the day. But I'm here to tell you this, you guys. So this is the example of the test, the learn, and then to either relearn again or teach. So I learned through getting sober that I had to look at why I was doing the things that I was doing, and that I was still a shitty person after I let go of drugs and alcohol. I was still messed up inside, and that was really hard to digest at first. And I fought people on it, and I tried to manipulate and be deceptive. We do that. I did that. And I realized after a while that you have to just swallow the pill, and you realize, dang man, like, okay, yeah, I'm still a shitty person. And so from there, you actually start somewhere, right? You're able to identify, I would say, like a base point. And I found that from this point, I can actually evolve. And so from there, I started to tell the truth. I started implementing the principles and values and I would say the laws of AA. And in doing so, it freed my soul. And then from there, I was taught to teach others about it. Now, I didn't stop with that concept. I kept going. So everything that I learned from that point on, I implemented that formula. And so I always say that most of the times, that is the reoccurring cycle that happens in all of my life. And the law of correspondence tells us that there is no difference from your business. And there's no difference between those three planes of reality, or those three planes of existence. The same goes for your life. So that's why okay, so check it out, guys. I say this example to people because it helps. So let's say we're playing Super Mario Brothers. I'm aging myself right now, right? So I'm 34 years old. When I was a kid, I played Super Mario Brothers. And some levels were really hard to play. And it took me sometimes a month to beat a level, or it would take me a couple weeks, depending on how hard it was, right? And then I got to a point where I beat it. And then whenever I replayed that level, it got a lot easier and a lot easier and a lot easier. This is the same for life. So the same lessons are going to keep coming to you over and over and over again. It doesn't matter what you believe in, as long as you believe in something. Because you're going to have to give your life up to something grander than yourself, because something grander does exist. You have to believe that, because you wouldn't exist without that. And these laws, these universal laws, these principles wouldn't exist unless the architect had made this game with the intention of us learning, right? Evolving. And so what I'm trying to tell you is that you can evolve on the spiritual level. And that's why I say that there is no difference. For me, I just decided one day that I was going to teach everyone what I had learned because it had changed my life so much. And in turn, I found my purpose. I found why God actually put me here. And I found out why all the trauma that I went through in the past, what that was doing for me. It actually set me up. I'm actually a resilient person because of it. I'm super knowledgeable. I have experience. My PhD comes in experience. And that experience came through abuse, deployment in Afghanistan, failed marriages, losing my kids, alcoholism, drug addiction, overeating, indulgence, in a wide variety of addictions. Me treating people like a jerk, and then them doing the same to me. So this is why I say that this law is imperative. It is probably my most favorite, and I like to teach about this because it teaches us the fabric of our reality. So, where was I? I think a good way to say this too is that everything that you do is because of how you're feeling inside. The conflicts or the peace that you're at and it will reflect on the outside. Check this out, you guys. So say that you see like your one of your friends. You see this a lot of times in movies. You have a girl who's walking around in the movie, like on cloud nine, lackadaisical, like the world is her oyster and she can do whatever she wants. She's wearing a red dress. She seems as though she's floating through the movie. Now, when you see someone like that in reality, like reality, we look at them and like, wow, why is that person so? I want to know them. I want to get to know them. Why are they floating on air right now, right? Because you meet those people that feel warm. Now, you can have two responses to this person, right? A lot of the times, girls want to either be that friend or a guy wants to have her as like a girlfriend, right? But depending on use your own discernment, right? However you fit the role. So you can have two responses, and those two responses on how you perceive that person is not because of that person. They've only came about and manifested in your life for you, baby. So check it out. If you look at that person and you say, wow, she's really beautiful. She has no care in the world. Everything came easy to her. I don't like her. Why are you saying those things? Because it either is sparking something that's insufficient, or you believe that's insufficient in yourself. Or you can look at that person and say, wow, that person, they found something about them is captivating, exhilarating, loving. I want to get to know that person, and I want to get to know what they're doing. I want to be their friend. I want to co-create with them, right? So there's two choices you can make. But those two choices, now, so that's just one example. But the reason why I bring it up is because I found out that the as above, so below works with us. Whatever is going on the inside that hasn't been healed will present itself on the outside. So a lot of the times, okay, so check this out. This is what I was saying to myself a lot of the times. And it started as a young kid. And then okay, I'll tell you like this. Unfortunately, this is what happened in my life. A lot of things came easy to me in the beginning of life. I would say once I would join the work world. I found that I was really good at communication, and that I did have a charm to me, and that I was able to obtain things, I would say, easier than others in comparison. But this also came to my detriment later on, because I thought that things were always going to last, and that I could rely on I relied on my own laurels, and it came to bite me in the butt a lot of times, because it developed laziness, it developed pride and ego, and in actuality, I had low self-esteem. Now, I also had on the outside of me naysayers, a lot of them, a lot of saying, you can't do that, you're not good enough for that, or it started to become, wow, you are not a good father. You are not a good person. You are an alcoholic. And then throwing those things at me continuously. And what it did to me is it broke me down. But what they were saying to me was what I was saying to myself. So it was only a manifestation of my internal conflict. And that's why I make this channel and tell you guys, that is the formula, you guys. If you can learn anything from what I'm saying right now, is that when you come to terms with yourself, what's going on in the outside, you will start to ignore it. And it's really easy said, but it's really hard to do. So, and the same lessons will come to you over and over and over again until you have a different response. So for me, after I got better and sober and somewhat healed, the same lessons started coming to me. Because I was seeking validation, still seek it. And validation, acceptance, love, and respected. That's what I want. And I kept finding that people kept coming to me and telling me, you're not good enough. You can't do this YouTube channel. Or, what are you doing? You look dumb. They're saying these things because it's still on a subconscious level of what I'm saying to myself. I may not be verbalizing it anymore. Now, how do you fix that? This is the law of correspondence in action. So what I say to you is you have to start doing things that are going to be better for yourself. If it is a subconscious, now the subconscious is something that you can't see, right? Now, think of that as like the spiritual platform. So in the level of existence, the body, the mental, and the spiritual. That is the spiritual, I would say. Now, you can't see it, but it's saying something. Now, how do we fix it? What I say is that the affirmations of what you say to yourself today will affect tomorrow. What you think today will affect tomorrow. And if you know that, that's the law, the first law, the law of mentalism. What you think will be your reality, right? They teach us that in law of attraction. So, by just knowing that information, you can change your life and implement. You can have a course of action that can change the way that your spiritual side will react to your actual reality. So I had to start saying affirmations, good things to myself. I had to start showing myself self-love. I would look in the mirror and tell myself, I love you, Eddie. Eddie, you're worthy. And then I would get that voice, well, Eddie, you got your kids taken away. Or Eddie, you are an alcoholic. Eddie, you did this when you were drunk back in the day. Eddie, you were homeless. Eddie, your teeth look a certain way. Eddie, so that's the subconscious, as I'm trying to tell you, right? So I have to continuously tell myself loving statements because I have to restructure the way that I think about myself. And a lot of the times I do subliminals. You can do, this is the work, right? Now this is a work that like you start to restructure the way that you think. Now, when you do that, you can uplift the spiritual side of it, which is in this case, the subconscious. And you rewire or reprogram this subconscious and you start saying things that are more loving about yourself. And then your actions towards others and your actual reality will become that. I promise you. And this also goes hand in hand with healing work, trauma work. And that trauma work is what I'm talking about. Why do you feel the void, the conflict inside, the feeling of lack, or the feeling of loss, or the feeling of fear? It's because a lot of the times we've already been programmed by our parents or by our peers, and then that's why I always believe that it's like in any material it says the same things. Like it says the sins of the father and the mother. Yeah, because we get on planet Earth, you're innocent. A child doesn't know fear. It doesn't know anything. It comes from a place of sponge learning. So, but you're going to become those around you. It is how it is. That is the law of correspondence. I just explained it right there, right? Because your mind, what you think of constantly will become your reality. And so your inner conflict, and what I mean is like the trauma work, if you start and that's how you can actually apply it to your healing process. If you look at what is going on the inside and make a real inventory on what that looks like and got real accountable with yourself and journaled about it and then told another person, you would be able to overcome this. And then you would be able to readjust your life according to what that is. You would have an identifying marker of what exactly the problem is. And when it shows up, you'd be like, wait a minute, I'm doing this because of what happened to me back then. This isn't a reality. And then you overcome the problem and you readjust. And I find myself in that constant state over and over and over again. And sometimes it takes me, I'll go 3 months and the same problem will hit me again. And I believe that's the universe, or depending on what you believe in, I believe in God. God throwing it my way to see if I learn that concept. And then I move on to the next thing. And then sometimes he'll throw it at me again. So you guys, that's what I love about this concept, right? Is that it could be applied to so many parts of your life and it can change your life. If you look at this video, right, and you say, wow, this guy actually, he's talking about things that like, and that's where I found that that you have to be authentic. You have to be in a place where you've looked at yourself and you said, you know what, this is, and that's that base that I was talking about. If I realized I was a shitty person and then I adjust fire, I said, you know what, I'm going to have to get to a better place and become a better person. And from there, I started to develop characteristics, traits, and principles that help me to become a better person. And it takes a level of honesty, and those things, you guys, can build your character. All right, guys, that's all I got on correspondence. I love you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next video, which is another law. I'm gonna do all 7. I love you guys so much. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys.